Hello everyone, I'm Mirsab Zuberi watching Express 24/7.
And this is Saleh Khan. Let's take a look at the headlines.
Iran sends new proposal to US via Pakistan mediators as talks stall amid fragile ceasefire and stalled diplomacy. US President Donald Trump says naval blockade will continue until nuclear deal is reached.
US declares Iran war following an April 7th ceasefire. Official says War Power Act no longer requires Congress approval after the Feb 28th hostilities. However, the blockade of Strait of Hormuz continues.
US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tells Senate hearing White House will decide when Iran conflict ends and if Congress approval is needed. He says ceasefire renders 60-day war powers deadline ineffective.
US Senate blocks sixth bid to limit Donald Trump war power on Iran. Vote fails 47-50 as Democrats push to end conflict. Only one Democrat opposes, two Republicans back resolution.
Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai says Pakistan is sole official mediator in US-Iran talks. He adds discussions remain indirect and any scheduled talks will be publicly announced.
US President Donald Trump says Iran operations should have started earlier. He claims most missile facilities are destroyed and reiterated Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, adding sanctions and blockade are impacting the economy.
US media reports Iran war costs may reach nearly $50 billion, almost double the $25 billion figure given to Congress. Reports say weapons used and replenishment are driving costs beyond initial Pentagon estimates.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi accuses Pentagon of concealing war costs. He says spending reaches $100 billion, adding Israel's first policy mean America's last, and rise burden on US household.
Iran's Chief Justice Ghulam Hussain Mohseni says Iran remains open to talks but rejects coercion. He says judiciary prepares war crimes charges against the United States.
US President Donald Trump is briefed on new Iran strike options. Officials say CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brett Cooper and General Dane Ken present plan in 45-minute session as Washington reviews next steps.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres wants Strait of Hormuz disruption could push inflation above 6% and cut growth to 2%. He says closure risks recession and calls for immediate reopening of the strait.
US President Donald Trump says blockade is reducing Iran revenue and weakening its economy. He says Tehran is willing to negotiate and repeat his position that Iran cannot possess nuclear weapons.
Israeli forces raid Burqa in the occupied West Bank, wounding one Palestinian, leaving dozens suffering with tear gas inhalation. Palestinian sources say troops fire rubber-coated bullets and gas towards a mosque.
President Asif Ali Zardari concludes 5-day China visit, signs multiple MOUs on industry, agriculture and water desalination and CPEC 2.0, departing Sanya after advancing bilateral cooperation.
Punjab government announces Basan 2027 regulations effective on December 30, 2026. Rules apply to citizens and organizers, with restrictions on rooftop use and safety conduct.
Pakistan rise to 6th in latest ICC test ranking on 89 points. The International Cricket Council says Pakistan's move ahead of Sri Lanka as recent performances boost standings.
SpaceX spends over $15 billion on Starship, exceeding Falcon 9 costs. Filing shows rocket is central to future missions and Starlink expansion, though technical hurdles still remain.
And Lady Gaga and Cardi B top Billboard global touring charts. Gaga's Mayhem Ball leads monthly grosses, while Cardi B posts on one of the biggest box office total for a female rapper.